CMC did everything for the Panthers. Did they get anywhere?
Because the team sucked.
And the Giants suck too.
Why are they 7-2? Why are they 7-2? What is the reason that they're 7-2? The Giants suck and they're 7-2. Why? Why? What player has them at 7-2? Saquon Barkley. Thank you.
All right.
But they should get rid of him.
Christian McCaffrey.
You're right.
Christian McCaffrey's had a better year than what Saquon's doing right now. 100%. 100%. 100%.
You're on drugs. You are on drugs. Have this man tested. Oh my God. Oh my God. Saquon Barkley's carrying the Giants to 7-2. But Christian McCaffrey's having a better year? What's wrong with you? Ugh, there was a chunk in my coffee. Let's go.
All right. On that note, welcome back to Tipsy Tailgate Media. We're back with another episode. We're talking football. We've got some good topics today. I like what we've got going on, and I first want to say thank you and shout out to Dickerman's Ale House in Hamden, Connecticut. Round of applause for them. They let us host our live show. At Dick's.
Great time.
And great time. Absolute great turnout. We had a lot of fun. We auctioned off.
Maybe we sneak one more in.
Oh, maybe a couple more in. They're down. I'm down. We're all down. Maybe do a couple more throughout the semester. We gave away a beanie like this.
That was easily the most
a lot of
fun time I've had doing the podcast.
A lot of fun. And if you want to listen to the episode, please go Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's on there. It has a nice live thing in the thumbnail, so you know which one it is.
Touched on a lot of topics too.
Ton of topics, ton of sports.
Yeah.
Even UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So and additionally, we have another thing to go off of. Tipsy Bets is back. If you're not following us already, Tipsy Bets TTM on Twitter. You got to do it now because we're absolutely on fire. Since starting back up, we've hit 2 bets. We've only missed one. 24-6 now. So follow us there. Follow us on Instagram at Tipsy Tailgate Media, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into the pod. So I'm going to start this one off with a little bit of a strong take here.
Well, I think we have to
welcome
our
guest.
my apologies.
I was sitting here waiting the whole time. I'm quiet.
Apologies.
For my introduction.
Go ahead, Benny. Do
so sadly, we are joined by none other than Jason Tagarello, diehard Jets fan, as you can see from the horrible jersey of the worst quarterback in the NFL, who Sal and I will have the privilege of watching this weekend. We're going to watch him throw 4 picks against Bill Belichick-led defense. So welcome, Jason. Welcome
in.
Thank you.
To the one-time thing group chat.
It is our displeasure to have you on.
All right. Now, shifting off of that. I'm starting this off with a little bit of a hot take. I want to hear what you guys think about this.
Can't wait to hear it, Aiden.
Ready? All right. So this is my anti-Giants signing Saquon Barkley back argument. First, before I say anything, I do want to say this has nothing to do with Saquon. This is not me not respecting Saquon. This is not me saying that he's not a good player because I think he's great. This is my take just on running backs on their second contract. So Saquon's last 4 games, all right? 25 touches, 28 touches, 23 touches, and then against the Texans, 36 touches. All right? He's on pace for a career high 374 carries. His injury history includes ankle injury at Penn State, lingering at Penn State, re-injures the ankle in the NFL, tears his ACL and strains his MCL in the NFL, and then re-injures his ankle last October in the NFL. Okay, and then here's my case for it. So I think that he's a great running back. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best players in the entire league to have the ball in his hands.
He's a transcendent running back.
He's
just great.
He could receive. He could run. He could hit off some big runs, as we've seen thousands of times. But this is my argument against him. So I think that the Giants currently, no matter what their record is, are not good enough to win a Super Bowl. I think in 2 years, maybe 3, they could definitely be there with receivers, a little bit more defense, whether they figure out the quarterback position or if Daniel Jones is the quarterback. Either way, 2 or 3 years, I think they're out for their Super Bowl bubble window. I think by the time they're all there positionally, Saquon will already be on his heavy downtrend. Bless you.
God bless.
Heavy downtrend as a running back. And here's my argument. Here are just a few running backs recently that have signed a second contract and have been either bad or very disappointing. We've got Melvin Gordon, Kenyon Drake, Jordan Howard, Matt Breida, Todd Gurley, Devonta Freeman, David Johnson, and then these two are a little underwhelming, not bad. Kareem Hunt, and then Zeke.
I disagree with Kareem Hunt.
I do too.
But
like
has he been worth the money?
I mean,
Because you could draft the running back in the 4th round and do the
but
same
listen,
thing he did.
if Kareem Hunt was the sole back on a team, I think it would be worth it. The thing that makes it not worth it is that he has to work off of Nick Chubb. And another thing I would add to that is
so for the Browns then, because Dearness Johnson came in after their injuries last year, and Dearness Johnson was a better running back than Kareem Hunt's been on the Browns for 2 years.
I'm not disputing you in the fact that it typically doesn't work out on a second contract for running backs, but list those names off again.
Melvin Gordon,
Not as good as Saquon.
Kenyon Drake,
Not as good as Saquon.
Jordan Howard,
Not as good as Saquon.
Todd Gurley,
He was very good. But he had
David
horrible,
Johnson. He was
not as
very
good as Saquon. Not as good as Saquon.
He was very good.
Not as good as Saquon.
He was
But
an
not as
offensive
good as
player of the
Saquon.
year candidate,
But
for
not as
multiple
good as
years.
Saquon.
He's very, very up there. Not as good, but he's very up there.
No.
Zeke.
Zeke had a
and right now
dominant
he's
rookie
like-
year, but I think Saquon's had a far better career than Zeke.
Saquon hasn't been playing that long, Ben. He's had one.
But he's still been better than Zeke.
He's had one put together year.
1 year? You think he's had 1 year?
He's had one full year. Has he?
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying you think he's had one great year.
No, I'm saying I think he's only played one full season. Let me check. He's played.
The thing, here's the thing. I agree with your
He
premise.
has only played one full year.
I agree with your premise of running backs typically not doing well in their second contract, but I think the Giants are in the position where they have to commit to Saquon because he is the team right now.
So
And-
yeah,
And I think there is a risk of making a mistake and paying him all this money, but it's a risk you have to take.
I mean, have you seen the guy's quads? You really think he's gonna get hurt? Come on.
do I really think he's gonna get hurt? I think he's maybe the second most lock of getting hurt out of anyone in the league.
No, listen,
Saquon's-
Well, that's also the thing.
I
That's-
agree. He's always hurt.
But that's also the thing. So they're going to sign him for a huge contract, but they're giving him – who's the last running back we've seen that's gotten the amount of carries, amount of touches as him so far? And what did he do after getting a second contract? And we talked about this. DeMarco Murray, this was a different situation because he went to the Eagles. They were running a West Coast offense.
And then he resurged on the Titans.
And he resurged, but for 1 year, and then he was done.
He had 2 good years on the Titans.
I don't think so.
He had 2 good years.
But for Saquon, they're giving him. Listen, like, you're against the Texans, and you're gonna give him 36 touches against the Texans. This guy's gonna be shot after this
Which
year.
is why I'm saying he is their team. So why would you're 7-2. What, 7-2?
Okay, because
why would you give up the key piece of your team? I understand that
they're
there's a major
abusing
risk.
him. They're abusing.
There's
him.
a major risk in keeping him, but it's a risk you have to take.
It's.
If
I'd
the
say
Giants
it's more than.
didn't-
I'd say it's a lock.
if
I'd
they-
say in 2 years, Saquon is not the same. And I would put.
If
put
the
$1,000
Giants,
on it.
if the Giants don't have Saquon this year, you could literally flip their record. They're probably 2-7.
Well, I agree. That's why I think a team that might be one position player, one impact player away, can take that risk, take getting Saquon and eating the rest of his bad contract the rest of the way for a chance at a Super Bowl. I don't think the Giants are close, no matter what the record says. I don't think they're close to Super Bowl. They have the worst receiving core maybe in the entire league. Their defense is not that great compared to others around the league, especially the Cowboys and the Eagles in that division. Even the Commanders. They have the worst defense in that division. And then on top of that, Daniel Jones, your quarterback, nobody knows if he's the answer. And he's been playing good this year, but nobody knows if he's the answer. So my thing is if
you don't know if Daniel Jones is the answer, why would you get rid of the X factor on your team that literally lifts up Daniel Jones's production?
I'm not saying like get rid of him, he's like the problem. I'm saying like so they're gonna sign him, all right? He's gonna do probably really good next year as well. And then the year after that, he's either getting hurt or he's regressing. And there's basically 500 running backs to prove that.
But I think that if their record is 7-2, that's a chance they're willing to take, and like they're gonna
agree.
be willing to take that next year and
I
the year
agree.
after. So
And
like,
here's the
I
thing
think that's
about-
why like I don't really get your argument.
The other thing about Saquon,
Okay, they're 7-2, but are you
largely-
taking them over the Eagles?
No.
Are you taking them over the Cowboys?
maybe,
Are you taking them over the 49ers?
no,
No.
Are you taking them over the Vikings?
no,
Are you taking them over the Packers?
yes, Yes.
Are you taking them over the Bucks?
No.
Okay. So
I
there's
just-
what?
I just
two
wa-
teams. There's two teams in the entire conference that they could
Aiden,
beat.
I just want to hear your plan after they get rid of Saquon.
You draft a running back
After they get rid
third
of.
round.
Okay. How many running backs? Josh
been-
Jacobs, Ramondre Stevenson. Do you have a
I
list?
actually got it right
Go.
here.
Let's hear it,
There's-
boss.
There's been 12 running backs taken round 1 since 2015. And some running backs that have not been taken in the first round, just to name a few, since then we have, just in the last draft class, we have Breece Hall, who was absolutely phenomenal until he got hurt. Kenneth Walker, who's been an absolute stud. Damian Pierce, been an absolute stud. Javonte Williams, Ramondre, Michael Carter, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, Austin Eckler. The list goes on and on.
Not Najee. Javonte Williams.
Saquon Barkley's better than every single player that you just listed.
Yeah, we're not saying he's not better than him. We're not saying that at all.
But
All I'm
him
saying-
being better, that means you take the risk. You have to take the risk.
Okay, he's
The biggest
already
mistake that the Indianapolis Colts have ever made is not taking the risk and keeping Peyton Manning after
completely
that
different
neck injury.
situations, though.
It's
Completely
not.
different. Yes, it is.
It's not.
One of them's
People-
getting 36 carries and getting smoked every play.
No, if anything,
and he has injuries.
If anything, it was worse for the Colts because people thought that Peyton Manning's career was literally over.
but that's
They thought it was over and that he should retire.
but he could.
Quarterback
But
and
there's
running
also
back
there's
is too
also
entire- it's too entire-
a bulk of plays where he's not getting hit. There's a bulk of plays where he's
Let's not act
handing
like the
ball
quarterback
off.
in
No,
2010
no.
wasn't getting hit every other play.
Yeah, I mean, I
Behind that Colts O-line. Let's
I-
not act like that
no,
wasn't the case.
I understand that, but you can't compare the contact from Saquon. Saquon's literally he's working on a bum ankle.
I'm not trying to compare the contact.
repaired
I'm
ACL
just trying
and
to compare
MCL.
the situation in a sense.
No, I'm just saying he's working on already 2 major leg injuries, and he's taking 35 to 36 touches.
No, hey,
against the Texans.
I
like
agree.
if this was a conference championship and he got 36 touches, I get it. It's against the Texans, bro. You're wearing him out, and he's gonna be garbage in a year and a half, or he's gonna be hurt.
The thing
Your
about
contract's gonna be wasted.
your argument is sound in the sense of running backs always get hurt, especially Saquon, always hurt, and they never work out, or seemingly in the past few years, typically don't work out in the second contract. Maybe Saquon's the outlier. And why wouldn't you take that risk if you're the Giants?
So, like, why is
You have to
why
take
is
that
he the
risk.
outlier when he already has his injury history? Like, why is
I'm saying he could be the outlier overcoming those
But
injuries.
the way to run an efficient NFL team is like you just keep doing this: draft a running back in the second round, draft a running back in the third round. You don't make this investment because if you make this investment,
The
it
teams
puts
that
you
are
so
drafting
far
a
back.
running back in the second round every 3 years don't have a player of the caliber of Saquon Barkley.
But that's my thing. You don't need a running
Mayo-
back to the
Mayo-
caliber of
The
Saquon
Giants
Barkley to be a
do.
good team.
The Giants
because
do
the rest
need
of their
that.
teams suck. And if they-
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if they don't sign him, then they don't waste the money on him like they wasted on Kenny Galladay.
Okay,
who's
so-
garbage.
so-
and then
You
they
think-
could
you think-
use
Okay,
other
no.
positions
Let's
for
let's
other
blame the Giants for
resources.
paying Saquon when they're paying Kenny Galladay, as you just said, out the ass.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Let's blame Saquon for that.
No, I'm
It's
not
not
blaming.
his
Let's
fault.
blame their best player, a guy who's in the MVP race right now, for Kenny Galladay getting paid out the ass and the Giants fucking up.
Okay, so
let's blame Saquon for
Okay,
that.
so what's the path in which they pay Saquon, in
And
which
it
they
works.
could make in which it works? What they pay Saquon, and then what? They grab a receiver.
I think-
they grab a quarterback. They still have money to pay defense, and then they win
Maybe
a Super Bowl?
maybe the way Dabble wants to coach this team is fortify the O-line so that Saquon doesn't get hurt, because part of the reason that he was getting hurt was because their O-line was brutal.
Yeah, but it's just,
Brutal.
It just takes
I
one
just
bad
think it's way
fall.
too
It
much
takes
of a risk.
one bad.
It takes
hit.
one bad fall, one bad hit for everyone in the NFL to get hurt. And I understand
And Saquon
the
does it
risk
every
is
year,
higher
so.
because of the running back, because he's a running back and you're taking all these big hits. But I think it's a risk that the Giants have to take.
Does he deserve the money? Yes. I mean, just look at
Yeah,
that smile.
100%
but
he deserves the money. 100% he deserves.
It's just
he
not-
deserves money.
it's just not-
My argument is that
goes
there's no
on.
running back in the NFL that I would offer a second
No,
contract
exactly.
to
It's just
anymore.
not-
It's just not worth
the way
it.
the
The
NFL
you see the
works right
Patriots do every year. They draft Damian Harris. He looks like a great running back for 2 years, and then he's on a contract year. We draft another guy the year
Ramondre.
before, and now Ramondre Stevenson's doing more than Damian Harris is doing.
None of
And then now
them-
Damian Harris is gonna walk. It's we recycle.
None of them have reached the level of Saquon Barkley. You're comparing Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris to Saquon Barkley.
Okay, so
There are
then
multiple running backs.
So,
though,
but
who
you
have been taken
could
late.
draft John Taylor in the second round. I think
Alvin Kamara.
John Taylor's just as good of a talent as Saquon
No,
is.
absolutely not. Not as good as the talent. Not as good
Kamara,
as the talent.
Cook, Mixon.
They're not as good as Saquon. They're very good. They're elite
They're all
backs.
on that
Then you're
same
forgetting
level.
Saquon's only played one full year. He's only went over 1,000 yards twice.
It's a risk you have to take if you're the Giants. He's the sole reason that you're 7-2. If you're the Giants and you're
yeah.
dealing with this mediocrity since Eli Manning retired and you're finally 7-2, why would you get rid of the one piece that has you at 7-2?
because
why would you give up on that?
Because by the time your team is actually good to contend, he's not going to be good.
Way too much of a risk. It's way too much of a risk.
If you don't
You're gonna
have
have a
him, you're
bad
not
contract.
going to contend.
That's true. But
well, that's
you
what the
draft a
thing.
running
Yeah,
back
okay,
in the second
it's
round.
true. So like, how are you going to contend if you don't have him?
Because you draft a running back in the second round next
So
year.
you
You can keep.
So Saquon Barkley grows on trees.
I'm not saying Saquon Barkley grows on trees, but
The Giants,
the Giants
aren't the kind of team. You guys are acting like Saquon's a plug and play, and the Giants are a plug and play kind of team. The only reason you brought up the Patriots. The Patriots have a good system and a good team every single year. That's why they can play plug and play at running back. The Giants routinely have sucked the last decade. And the only reason they've been good is because of Saquon Barkley. It's not a plug and play situation.
And all that
It's not like the
on the
Packers
running
at
back.
receiver.
It's not gonna work.
It's not like the Steelers at receiver. They're a good organization.
I
They
think
figured it out.
There's two sides to this, but I don't think there's a single Giants fan in the world that
That
would
would get rid of Saquon.
That would do anything to
Of
give up
course.
Saquon.
Okay.
So,
Of
like,
course.
As an outside,
Of course. Why would you want to get rid of him when
No,
when right now he's the best running back in the
I
league?
know, I know,
When
I know.
when
But,
you
like-
go when you go next year and he's just a lingering injury and he's a lingering 2 yards a carry because he can't move anymore because he's had 4 chronic leg injuries.
The way you guys are talking about it though is that like Saquon does grow on trees and like.
Thank you.
Like, you
No,
you
thank
rattled
you.
off 15 running backs
And
that's fine,
none
but,
of
like,
them were as good as
could-
Saquon.
You
I'm
could
not
rattle
saying-
off another 15 that also suck.
And the Giants
So, like,
aren't the
what-
kind
I'm
of team
not
where you
saying
can find a
Saquon
lesser
grows
running
on
back
trees.
and
He's
find the success
All
that
right,
you have.
Saquon's
You
gonna
can find
Saquon's gonna
talent
Saquon's
at
gonna
running
make
back.
Saquon's gonna make more money if he signs his contract than Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Adrian Peterson, Austin Eckler, and Derrick Henry. Okay, do you think those guys? Which one of those guys have turned into a Super Bowl? Oh, none of. Which one of those guys have turned into even a playoff?
Say
run?
those names again. Say those names
Derrick
again.
Henry maybe.
Say those names again.
McCaffrey maybe this year.
Say those names
Dalvin
again.
Cook, CMC, AP, Eckler, and Derrick Henry.
Which one of them has
Besides-
been on a great team?
Besides, Derrick Henry's been on a deep run in the playoffs.
Because of
Austin
him.
Eckler's on a really
Because
good
of
team right
him.
now.
Derrick Henry carried that Titans team.
Okay, and
Carried it on his back
understand and
in a passing league.
yeah, and Derrick Henry's going for what? 150 yards a game in the playoffs. You think Saquon's going to lead his team, his Giants offensive line, his Giants team with that supporting cast? You think he's going to lead them to a conference
The
championship?
reason they don't have that,
God.
because they're paying shitty receivers out the ass.
and they're
like
about to,
we
and
just
they're about
said.
to, and they're about to pay Saquon, who's going to become a shitty running back up the ass in 2 years.
You can't blame Saquon for them poorly building the team, which is what you're doing. You're
It's not
blaming
his fault.
Saquon for
He
the way that the
deserves
GM has
money.
built the
I
team.
just don't think it's an
Okay,
efficient way to
you
run
could
an
you
NFL
could
team.
look. They could pay. Look, the Vikings. They have enough weapons and enough.
The Vikings are a
support.
great example of a team that could get rid of Dalvin Cook and play plug and play at running back.
But
the
yeah,
Giants aren't built like that.
But that's what I'm saying. But they have enough. They have enough talent where bringing Dalvin Cook on for a second contract makes sense because
I
they're a piece
disagree.
away.
No, we
They're a piece
fundamentally
away.
disagree on this topic. We fundamentally disagree because the Vikings are the perfect example of a team that could get rid of Dalvin Cook and draft a running back in the second round, and it'd be a seamless transition. The Giants are built around their running back.
They're built around the
So
running
if-
back
if
because the rest of their team
something goes
sucks.
wrong, which
So
the trend has been that they're gonna fall.
what were the
You can't fix that in a year. You can't fix the way that they built the team in a year.
What was the Giants' record 2 years in a row when Saquon didn't touch the field for more than?
They were horrible.
games? Horrible.
That's building
So what
to
are they
my
gonna- what are
point
they
of
gonna-
why would you get rid of the only reason that you're good?
Because you're gonna pay him, and then in 2 years you're gonna be horrible again when he's hurt,
No.
and you have no money.
No,
And
the
you have no
reason
money.
they're not going to be good if he gets hurt is because they're paying receivers out the ass and they're not giving their O-line any money, so the O-line stinks, and that leads to Saquon getting hurt. That's the reason he gets hurt.
Listen,
because their O-line sucks.
It just takes one bad fall.
It takes one bad fall at any position.
Of course, but any other team losing their starting running back does not do the same impact.
Because no other team is built like the Giants, and the Giants are built based
terribly
on their
built.
MVP back, and that's why
terribly
they shouldn't
built.
get rid of him.
And okay, but so then they sign him back, and what do? They win 6 games next year.
You find a way to move around pieces and actually build an O-line, and if you have Daniel
And then-
Jones making throws on
okay,
third down,
so
Saquon
it
Barkley
takes-
going first and second down with a good O-line, that's a playoff team again.
It takes one offseason to build an O-line. It takes a second offseason to find the quarterback and the receivers around him. By that time, Saquon Barkley is what? In his seventh year in the league, and he's already near 30, and he's already hit four major injuries.
Adrian Peterson won an MVP in the league after an ACL tear in his 6th or 7th year.
Adrian Peterson is miles ahead of what Saquon is.
I'm not
Don't give me
saying
that.
you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but we've seen a guy get hurt in his career on a bad team,
He
come
came-
back later in his career and win an MVP.
Okay, but this guy came back from an ACL and played the next year and won an MVP. Like this guy,
Okay.
like
and
there's
he's
no
about to do the same thing. He could do the same thing.
AP came back in like 6 months. Saquon didn't play in almost 2 full years. He came back, got hurt. He played 2 games, got hurt, came back.
You're acting like
He
Saquon
played
Barkley
13
didn't rebound off an injury and come back, and he's having an MVP
He
quality
played 13
season.
games last year. He had 600 yards.
No. Let's just act like Saquon Barkley grows on trees. He's not the reason that they're 7-2, and the Giants should get rid of the only thing that they have going for them. That sounds like a great plan, Aiden.
I think purely
that sounds like a great plan for the New York Giants.
I think purely off of time, we should move on. But we could readdress this at another date.
No. Saquon Barkley's a Garrett Blunt, like the Patriots had, and they can just get rid of him. Apparently, Saquon Barkley's just a pounding at the 1 yard line back, and that's all he did.
CMC did everything for the Panthers. Did they get anywhere?
Because the team sucked.
And the Giants sucked too.
But why are they 7-2? Why are they 7-2? What is the reason that they're 7-2?
caught fire in a
The
bottle,
Giants
Saquon's
suck,
playing on
and they're
field.
7-2. Why? Why?
caught fire
What
in a
player
bottle.
has them at 7-2?
Saquon's playing
Saquon
good.
Barkley. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right.
But they should get rid of him.
Christian
No,
McCaffrey.
you're right.
Christian
They should
McCaffrey's
get
had
rid
a
of
better year than what Saquon's doing right now. 100%. 100%.
You're on drugs. You are on drugs.
2,000 yards.
Have this man tested. Oh my God. Saquon Barkley's carrying the Giants to 7-2.
Yeah,
but Christian McCaffrey's having a better year?
In
What's wrong with you?
In 2019, he had almost 1,400 rushing yards and over 1,000 receiving yards.
So
he had 19 total touchdowns. That's better than any year Saquon's ever
I
had.
thought we were talking about 2022. I thought we were talking about 2022.
I said no. I said had. I'm not talking about now.
You
said
said
had.
Oh, you said this year.
No. Okay, then we just mixed it up. Because I said had. All right. Either way, we should definitely move on. All right, and we're back with our Thanksgiving Day picks and bets. We've got a little bit of a new sponsor type deal right now. For our Hafass picks of the week presented by Hafass Cleaners. If you need your Quinnipiac, Yale, UNH, SCSU, or Wesleyan College house cleaned, call Hafass Cleaners for the best prices and even better service. Follow them at Hafass Cleaners on Instagram.
Hafass does a great job, Aiden. They've cleaned our house a few times. Very affordable service as well.
Very nice people.
Great people. They do a great job.
So now with our, like I mentioned, Hafass picks of the week, we're going to go Thanksgiving Day picks. We've got 3 matchups here. We've got the early slot, Bills, Lions, the middle game, 4:30, Giants, Cowboys, and then the late game, Patriots return to Thanksgiving, Patriots, Vikings. Let's talk about the Bills, Lions first.
We'll all four go or do our matchups, and then we'll add it up once it happens.
Beautiful.
You first.
So this Bills and Lions game, I don't know if they have the lines out yet for any of these.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. But I'm going Bills.
Yeah.
Whoa, big surprise.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout though. I think the Bills need to figure out some stuff on their side, but I do think they'll win.
It's kind of weird.
No,
that,
I think this is going to be a great game.
We're talking about like the Thanksgiving games, and like we don't even know about this week's game. So like I don't know. What if Josh Allen gets hurt or something, and then
That's
they have
true.
to go play Detroit? But,
Yeah, you never know.
But for now, yeah. All right.
Just because we're not gonna be here for Thanksgiving.
Wait, what's their who's their backup? It's what's his face?
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Which is Stephon Diggs.
It's honestly a pretty good backup
cool.
to have.
Good backup.
Low
Really
key,
good backup.
if Keenum's in there, I still got the Bills.
If the Jets had Case
do too.
Keenum going weeks 1 through 3, I think we would be 9-0.
Oh boy. What about you guys? Bills, Lions.
I'm going to go with the Bills as well. I think it's going to be a very good game. I could see it being a high-scoring, like shootout type game. I got Josh Allen getting the turkey leg at the end of the game, though, with player of the game.
Nice. I think this is one of the best slates we've had for Thanksgiving Day in a while. Just because I feel like it's usually underwhelming.
No, I do like when the Bears and Packers play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Though. That's usually nice.
The Giants Cowboys game should be a good one.
What about Jason? Jason, do you have the Bills? This is our guest, Aiden, and you're completely disrespectful.
This
not
is
used
just
to it.
typical
Not used
Pats
to it.
fans over here. Very selfish. Anyways, I got the Bills. Even if Josh Allen's out, I still think Keenum can get the job done. Hopefully, we have a crazy Thanksgiving Diggs game. That's the MVP. Please not Gabe Davis. I have Diggs on my fantasy team.
No one cares about your fucking
Am I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you
go
care
ahead.
if I give my pick?
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Bills.
Okay.
Bills Mafia. Josh Allen, he's not that good though.
I don't know. It has been rumored that since Dable has left, his fundamentals have kind of gotten a little twisted.
Crazy stat today.
What do you guys?
Crazy stat today.
No.
It was the Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen talk,
let's
and
settle
it
down
was
a little bit.
not even close.
Oh, Pat Mahomes.
Not even close.
It's clearly Mahomes.
But there are people, Ben, You look a little disgruntled over there.
Josh Allen's a beast. I
That's
mean,
just
I don't know.
idiots.
He's flustered. Right
He's good. He's good.
Josh Allen is literally Big Ben, who can run fast and isn't fat as fuck.
All right, middle game.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Giants Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys, but I definitely think it's gonna be a showdown.
No, I think this is the game of the
Good
week.
matchup,
I could
yeah.
honestly see this going either way with a field goal at the end, but I gotta go with the Cowboys just because it's Thanksgiving and it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, you say that, but I'm actually going to go with the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
Well, the Cowboys lost last year. They got smacked the year before, 41-16. And they got smacked again, and they finally won.
What are you reading, bro?
Jason's
The game-
stat.
So
Those are
you
my
don't,
stats.
so you don't root for the Cowboys on Thanksgiving?
I mean, America's football team. You know what? I'm a Jets fan. I'm gonna root for my New York brethren, and I don't think. I don't think
You
the
hate
Cowboys-
the Giants.
I like Saquon.
no. I,
Why not? Oh my God. Okay.
Us
Oh my.
Jeff fans, we respect the G-men. We do.
respect
It's
them.
different with Mets, Yankees. It's
Yeah.
very different. We respect the G-men.
Okay.
Cowboys usually get smacked on
No,
Thanksgiving.
I'm not.
America's
No, I'm
football
not
team.
letting you take the Giants after the Saquon slander like 10 minutes
Well,
ago.
we're not going back
Alright,
into it. So
not-
that's his pick, the Giants.
Yeah,
I'm also
I'll go
going with
with
the. No, I'm not. I'm going with the Cowboys. The Cowboys got this one. in
No,
the
I'm
bag.
changing mine to the Giants. I'm changing mine. Let's go G-men. Let's go G-men.
All right, next. And this one I feel like is gonna be a really good game.
No, it's not.
No, I actually think it's gonna be a boring game. But
it's gonna be so.
I think there's gonna be a lot of running, a lot of keep away football for the Pats. With that said, I think Bill lays his on the table.
No, I think
Going
anyone who thinks that the Pats aren't going to win this game is a fucking idiot.
Oof.
The Vikings are going to choke this game. So it's not going to be the Pats winning it. It's going to be the Vikings choking it.
You brought a Randy Moss jersey here.
I love Randy Moss. Doesn't mean I love the Vikings.
You know what team Randy also played for?
The Pats.
Exactly.
You know where Randy Moss played his best football?
The
The Pats.
Oh, here we go.
The Pats.
Listen, it's going to be Kirk Cousins losing the game more than Bill Belichick and the Patriots winning it. I just don't believe in Kirk Cousins in primetime, especially on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think Bill's going to have him in shambles. The one thing that worries me is we have absolutely no one to throw at Justin Jefferson. No one.
Yeah, I know.
No.
That's true.
You just pressure Kirk.
No,
it's
if
gonna be
Judon
tough.
gets like 2 sacks,
Yeah. By the way,
We'll win the game.
little kudos to Judon. Leading the league in sack was it 9.5 right now, I think.
he is more.
Leading the league in sacks. Absolute monster this year. Like
Yeah,
I mean, last year too, and then he had a little bit slow period at the end.
Well, he got hurt.
Yeah. This year he's on a tear. I mean, this guy can't be stopped.
I think there's something to be said.
11 and a half
about,
sacks.
11.5. Wow.
There's something to be said about Judon ever since that
The
thing
Chiefs?
happened on
The incident.
national television. He clearly started playing a little bit better.
moon.
Well, no, he was already playing great, but I think he got the nation
Get the nation
fired
riled
up.
up.
Got
yeah.
the nation fired up.
Maybe we get Aiden. Maybe we could pop the image right up there.
Full moon.
It's actually my fantasy.
It is your
Logo.
fantasy
This-
profile picture.
This may surprise you guys. I actually have the Pats
Yeah, I think the Pats win. this.
because after they
Are we
get
getting a
after
Pats
they
clean
lose
sweep?
to the Jets, after they lose
Oh
to
my
the
God.
Jets,
Yup.
I think they're gonna come in and they're gonna be mad, and Bill's gonna,
crazy.
as you said, have to whip his on the table because he just lost to the Jets. It's Thanksgiving, and I think he just messes. Kirk is gonna fumble, and I just think the Pats.
No, I look at it differently, or I still have like the Pats winning, but I think the Pats win this weekend, and I think that they're going to give me a little bit of false hope, winning like a few big games in a row, and then they're just going to blow it at the end of the season.
yeah.
Sounds about Pats.
Yeah.
So I surprisingly, for once, agree with Jason and have the same exact take as him. What's going to happen is the Jets are going to go to Foxborough this weekend. We're going to win.
Gosh.
The curse is over. It's done. Zach Wilson is him.
Oh, the curse is over, even though you lost 3 weeks ago.
No, I'm kidding. Zach Wilson does suck, but I do think we're going to come to Foxborough and win. With that being said, once we do beat you guys, you could beat up on Kirk, non-prime time Kirk.
Yeah.
Can we maybe we could do a little, who are those guys out there? This little FBI agents? It's
The Men in Black have
the
arrived.
Men in Black. That's a little weird out there.
That guy looks like Johnny Sack from The Sopranos.
So yeah, Pats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pats.
No, I think we have a sweep
Pats
for the
clean
Pats.
sweep?
I think we have a clean sweep for the Pats.
I like it.
How about it?
How
How about them Pats?
this is not gonna look good.
I hope they
for
lose,
tipsy bets when
Oh boy.
we all go. Three.
I also I think we've got a nice topic here that I wanted to touch on a little to raise the spirits in advance of Thanksgiving. Obviously, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there,
Happy
listeners. we're going to go into quarterbacks that we would and wouldn't have a beer with. And I think this is fascinating because there are certain quarterbacks that just strike me as ultimate good guys. I'll list a couple of mine right now. Taylor Heineke.
I'm slugging beers with him.
On my list.
Fire up the beers. That is the guy. Blake Bortles.
Oh, yeah.
Gardner Minshew. Basically every quarterback that's
my
played
list.
for the Jags.
Not Trevor, though. Not Trevor.
I'm not getting a beer.
Yeah, no,
And then-
Trevor's weird. Trevor's
a
weird as
weirdo.
fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, Trevor's a
You ever
little
heard
weird.
his pregame speeches?
Hey, let's go out there and play with swag. You're a loser. Such a loser.
I think I'd also really enjoy beer with
Aiden, I think it's also you also have to include if these guys would enjoy drinking a beer with you.
100%.
And I don't know if they.
No,
Oh,
no,
who
no,
wouldn't
no.
enjoy killing a beer with Diz?
Come on.
Come on.
You seem more of like a Pat Mahomes type of.
Oh!
And then you bring on his brother Jackson. You
Oh.
yeah, you have a nice beer.
No.
No one wants to have a beer with Jackson.
What about you guys?
I don't think
What do you
Jackson drinks.
Listen, my pick's going to be obvious. Give me the Manning brothers.
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
That would be...
That would be hilarious.
That would be...
look
You
at
tell
the
me you
Monday
wouldn't
Night
want to kill
Football,
beers
yeah.
with Peyton and Eli.
We do it on
Alright,
Monday
I
Night
would.
Football.
Those are easily the two
We
picks.
literally do it on
On
Monday Night Football.
It's hilarious.
Watch it.
It's awesome. and you enjoy it every week. You enjoy it 10 out of the 17 weeks of the year. Imagine doing it in person. But if you don't want me to give a boring pick, give me Phillip Rivers. I could kill a beer with Phillip Rivers.
I can tell you
he's
one.
Probably have a
10 kids
kid.
to
He'll
look
probably have a
after,
kid
yeah.
in the middle of it.
Nah, he wants time away from his kids.
You know, you got 9
Unlike
people to go grab
Tom.
your beer.
No, one guy I would not have a beer with is Tom Brady. He freaks me out.
right.
He
Oh,
freaks
right.
me out.
Yeah.
What about you? What about
I don't think
you?
he drinks beer. It's too like you can't mess with
No,
his
also,
body's-
give me Mac Jones. I want to have a beer with Mac Jones. Tell me your story, Mac. Tell me your story.
You look away. All right, who do you got?
I want to drink with Zach Wilson.
Nah, he
Actually,
wants
no.
Deshaun Watson.
Give me,
Oh, I also want to throw in here. I think Jalen Hurts would be like an experience of a lifetime. Just shooting the shit.
Building
with
off,
Jalen.
no, I would love to drink with Tony Romo.
oh
Yeah, Tony would be a good one.
but just don't watch the Chiefs with
What do
me.
you got?
Here, Monty, come over here.
I mean, just think about that. Jalen Hurts, like
I would like to have a drink with Jimmy G,
Ooh.
Derek Carr.
God no.
No.
Derek
Boo-boo?
can stay home.
No.
Boo Boo
Boo-boo?
Gar can
Not
stay
Boo
home.
Gar.
Dude.
Not Jimmy G.
Derek-
tell
so-
Boo Boo to take his own Uber there.
Yeah.
So for mine was I think Kirk Cousins. I want to have a beer with. Kirk Cousins.
With the chains on,
And-
maybe.
And, he's got
And
chains on.
the two that I don't. One, Russell Wilson.
Oh, great,
God, no.
great
Fuck
pick.
that guy.
Great pick.
Weirdo.
Mr.
Mr.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Yeah,
Unlimited.
no. And then also Derek Carr. He was crying in the interview and shit. He's just a weird dude.
He's sad. He wants to win.
I'd probably say no to Zach Wilson just from legal reasons. He looks like he's 18.
Ooh.
No,
I don't want to. We don't want to catch any cases here.
Jesus.
Whoa.
You keep my quarterback's name out of your mouth.
He's gonna be drinking
Did
beer after
you
he
say
beats-
yours?
I didn't say mine.
What? Let me hear.
All right,
don't wanna
call
hear
me a backup quarterback. Like
Oh my God, no.
fanatic.
It has to be a starting quarterback. It can't be bumps.
Oh my God. Mike White is not a bum.
Yeah, he's a bum.
Oh my.
Taylor Heineke, not a bum.
Okay, Taylor Heineke's a goat.
Fitzmagic, not a bum.
Wow,
He's
good
not a
one.
backup. He's
That's
not
good-
a backup.
That's a good one though.
He started in the league
boy.
for like a decade. That's not a backup
Aiden,
quarterback.
you said
Alright.
Blake Bortles, right?
Yeah.
Starting quarterbacks
All
that I
time
have a
good
beer
guy
with.
right there.
Josh Allen. I think
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's
would
a great
be,
pick.
It's Stephon. I know he's not a quarterback, but Stephon Diggs may be like one of the funniest people in the NFL. I don't know if you ever saw the video of him drinking the Sprite.
You say Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, I know he's not a
a
quarterback.
receiver.
but- Yeah, me and Josh Allen go to grab a beer. I say, hey, tell Stephon to come.
No, you have to go with KC.
Oh, and then Stephon's like, Jason's coming.
Right, he's like, no way I'm going.
Another one. I think Joe Burrow.
Yes.
I think
Yes, that was an obvious
How do we?
pick.
Joe
How did you miss
Shiesty.
that?
We messed that one up.
Is Jamar coming?
Lamar Jackson. I would get
Yeah,
a beer
Lamar
with
would be
Lamar
sick.
Jackson.
Big trust.
Big trust.
Big trust.
Call me crazy. Jacoby Brissett just seems like a
Yes.
good guy.
Tell me your story, Jacoby.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't think he has a
Jacob.
story. He seems kind of like a default, like he just spawned.
He's an NPC.
quarterback.
Are you calling him an NPC?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
We already said that.
Ryan Mallet.
My
I did
bad.
say Fitzmagic. That's my number one.
Listen,
And then me and Fitzmagic can just shit on Brady. It'd be a great time.
no,
How about
Oh wait. Here's a would you rather? Would you rather go out for a beer with Matt Ryan
Oh,
or Patrick Mahomes?
Mahomes, even though his voice be like, hey, can you grab me a Bud Light?
nah, give me
wait,
that,
Jason?
Ryan.
Jason, do it again.
Hey, Travis, can you grab me a Bud Light?
That's exactly what Jason sounds like.
All right,
conscious.
Rodgers or Brady? Who you grabbing a beer with?
Brady.
Rogers.
Rodgers.
You guys are idiots.
He'd
Yeah, I don't-
be like too high off the MT.
No,
he wouldn't know where we were.
He would somehow like lecture you on the beer you chose. He's like, well, you know, Miller Lite is better. than
He's
Coors."
definitely an IP. Ben, he's definitely an IPA guy, right?
like IPA is a
Rodgers
All right,
is
I
an
have a good
IPA
one.
guy.
Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers to grab a beer with.
Mr. Unlimited.
No, I don't.
Dude,
I'd
I'd rather be doing high knees all around a bar than get a beer with fucking Aaron Rodgers. That guy's a loser.
In the bar, Broncos country.
another guy we didn't.
We need a that guy's a loser count for like
I think we
this
do.
season.
For Russell Wilson.
No, for Ben on Aaron Rodgers.
another
A
guy.
loser.
Another guy that I think would be great, but not only because of his recent play, but just in general, Justin Fields. But going off that, I want to go into Justin Fields.
Going off a Bears quarterback we brought up earlier. Give me a beer with Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. You're right. Jay Cutler. That might be like first round pick.
Yeah,
Nah, first round pick is Peyton Manning. The first overall pick, and who would you have a beer with is Peyton
We
Manning.
should have done a draft. Why didn't we do a draft?
No, or like a tier maker.
Yeah, or like yeah.
Okay,
like, just
the
go back-
Mannings are in the top tier.
Wait.
I'd say Jay Cutler's probably top. Jay Cutler, Blake Bortles. probably top
After this,
tier.
we'll make a tier.
Okay.
We'll post it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah,
at tier
put it on
list.
TikTok
This
and
guy.
Instagram. Check us there.
Why
And then-
would you have a beer with Jeff Hostetler?
And then
Wait,
and
is
then
he the one
Aiden-
that won?
Aiden, we're gonna have the get away
No,
from
didn't he
me
win with the
section.
Raiders?
It's gonna be like Russell Wilson.
Didn't he win with
Derek
the
Carr.
Raiders?
No, that was Jim Plunkett.
Was it the guy that was like smoking cigs and drinking beers before the Super Bowl?
Oh, no, that was Kenny Stabler.
Yes. Give me Kenny Stabler. Give me Kenny.
All right,
Stabler.
wait, going back.
Give me Kenny Stabler.
Going back on the current NFL. We need to talk about Justin Fields.
Can we remove Jason from the room? She brought up Kenny Stabler.
Goat. So Justin Fields has been on an absolute tear. Regardless of them losing the 3 games basically in a row, he's had 151 pass yards, 2 touchdowns, 60 rush yards, a touchdown on the ground. Even the Pats game, 82 rushing yards, 1 touchdown on the ground. Washington game, 88 rushing yards. But then the 2 most impressive were the last 2 weeks. The Dolphins, 123, 3 passing touchdowns, 178 rush yards, and a touchdown. That's the most rush yards for any quarterback in a single game in history. And then Detroit, he goes and drops 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, throws a pick, and 147 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He's on an absolute tear. And I do want to mention, I don't remember exactly what week it was. This might have been around the Patriots matchup or maybe a little bit before it. But I was saying to you guys, I was like, listen, like there's certain quarterbacks you just don't know about because they haven't been around any talent. They're not in a position to win, position to put up numbers. And I was like, all right, like we can't write off Justin Fields yet. And I remember very, very vividly, you two were like, no, Fields sucks. He sucks.
I
He's
still don't think
terrible.
he's that good.
I was also
Well,
saying that.
listen, I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying this guy's like the next coming of Michael Vick, but since I don't know if it's just crazy timing, but since I said that or around that time, he's literally just turned on a different switch where he's
Don't be
all
the
of a
I called it guy.
He's all of a sudden Lamar Jackson. I mean, but did I? He's all of a sudden Lamar Jackson, like
He's been playing my career.
more. Like, he's been blowing my mind recently, and I know it hasn't translated in wins necessarily.
Yeah, they have a great winning percentage.
All right. To be fair,
They win a lot of football games in Chicago.
The Bears also stink. The Bears stink.
Yeah, they have
no
they have
receivers.
nothing around them.
They just traded
That
him at the
O-line's
deadline.
terrible. Claypool will be a nice
They have a
addition.
pretty good running back group.
Um,
pretty good tight end. I don't know.
Khalil Herbert's hurt right now, but David
Pretty good
Montgomery's
tight
the guy there right now.
Pretty good tight end.
Cole Kmet's a pretty good tight end.
Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet.
Alright.
Cole Kmet, baby.
Pretty mid.
Um,
I
And
think
then-
a lot of quarterbacks could do something with Cole Kmet.
Colca mid.
well, good one.
You got the room rolling, Jason.
See Monty laughing over there.
He's laughing at you.
So now that we've reached this point of the season, I want to touch in on our Super Bowl picks. A little check-in. Are they the same? Are they switching? Did you have something for this?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm still going to stick with the Chiefs in the AFC. The Titans are really good, man. The Titans are really good. And if there's one team I would pick to go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs, it would be the Titans. They have a great defense. They just brought them to overtime with a backup quarterback who completed 5 passes. Derrick Henry is himself again. Vrabel might be the best coach in the league right now with
Dabble.
what he's doing with this team.
Dabble.
Titans would beat the Giants. Didn't they beat the Giants?
I'm just talking about coaching perspective. Vrabel is definitely up there, though.
I think
Vrabel's
Vrabel's the best
amazing.
coach in the NFL right now.
Vrabel's doing an
The
amazing
Titans weren't
job
supposed to be good.
with the Titans. Yeah,
Neither were the Giants.
Okay, but the Titans have a much higher ceiling than the Giants do.
Exactly. And the Giants.
Thank you.
The Giants have a better
Thanks.
record.
You're making my point.
The Giants have a better record.
The Titans have a much higher ceiling. Will go further in the playoffs than the Giants.
Because they were already a better team.
The Titans weren't supposed to make the playoffs. They might have like a little more talent on paper, but
We talked too much about the Giants.
having a chance to go to the AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill is pretty fucking impressive. So out of the AFC,
So what's
I'll
your-
go
yeah.
Chiefs, but I kind of want to say Titans. I'm not trying to hedge my bet, but I kind of want to go with the Titans. And then out of the NFC, I'm gonna go with the Bucks, man. Getting hot at the right time. All right, when I'm right in 2 months, it won't matter. Like honestly.
I'm gonna lay this one out on the table here. All right,
Lay it
take it or leave it. I have the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I'm going with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are the lock.
I could take.
My lock for the Super Bowl. I've been on them for a couple weeks, for like maybe 4 or 5 weeks now.
The
That's
Eagles
my
got
Super Bowl pick.
exposed this week.
I don't think so. They had very costly fumbles, stupid fumbles. In my opinion, a terrible call at the end. Brandon Graham's going
The
full
call
speed.
is not why they lost.
Not why they lost. I'm just saying that 2 fumbles.
I think
terrible,
people
back
were
to back,
overreacting to
back
that
to back. I think it's such an
overreacting to
overreaction.
loss.
That game,
In division.
not even
prime time.
they would have won that game easy if it wasn't for those 2 back to back fumbles.
They fumbled.
It
Like
happens.
just ridiculous. Yeah, but there were 2. One of them is completely on Quez Watkins, and then the other one's just like
I think people are overreacting to that loss.
they're just bad. They're bad. It was the 2 times where this entire season where they just completely fell apart. And the fumbles just cost them so bad. And even then, without that call, Jalen Hurts would have got the ball with 40, 50 seconds.
I could easily see
drive.
the Eagles losing 3 more games the rest of the way.
I still like the Eagles more than the Vikings. I like. My thing was I wanted to lean Bucks. You going Bucks made me kind of want to go my own way, and I was gonna go Niners. But I'm just not that confident. I think Jimmy G sucks. I don't think he is.
I've been saying Niners to the Super Bowl all year, but what Tampa's doing right now and like how it seems like they figured it out, I kind of got to roll with Tampa.
I'd probably go.
I'm gonna be going back
going
and
Eagles.
forth.
I'm going Tampa, then Niners. That's probably my.
I'm gonna be going
order.
back and forth on whether I think Tampa or the Niners will make the Super Bowl.
Either way, I think it's the Chiefs' year. I think this year's setting up for the Chiefs. They just stole Kadarius Toney from the Giants, and I think he's about to be.
Yeah.
He's about to have the impact of. I don't know the comparison here. He's about to have like the last second impact, like almost like Odell last year. Yeah. I think he's just gonna be nasty, and not only that, with Andy Reid's play calling,
Yeah.
he's gonna be so good. They're using
I think he's
on
the
jet sweeps,
the
and stuff.
twitchiest player in the league. Like
do you mean?
twitchiest,
Like-
as in like he's a human joystick. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And in that
He's-
Chiefs offense, like
All right, Aiden. So if the
he could
Eagles,
be perfect.
if the Eagles lose to like the Titans, and then once to the Giants, and then to the Cowboys, what are you saying about their Super Bowl chances? If they close out the season,
I'm
with
still
4 losses in the last 8 games.
I'm still fine. I don't see that necessarily happening. I could see 2 of those. I think this Eagles team is really good. On top of that, they made 2 transactions or what's the word? Transactions, right? They made 2 additions to the team in recent weeks that aren't really being like noticed as well. They got Robert Quinn, who's gonna make an impact in the playoffs, and they just signed in Ndamukong Suh to help stop the run.
That was a great signing.
Like this team was already undefeated, and then they brought on 2 more give me another team that's brought on 2 more impact players, and they're not even near what the Eagles have been. They've been undefeated. So like they're
we also
not
talked
done
about
yet,
it a couple
you know?
weeks ago. The Eagles' schedule was a joke.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I don't. And that's the thing with the whole division. That's
And the
partly
Gi-
why
and
the
the
Giants are
Giants.
7-2.
I'm not
It's that
a
whole
believer
division.
in this Eagles team. I'm just not. I don't get the hype.
they have
No,
one of
I
the
mean,
most complete rosters in the entire.
AJ Brown
they-
was hurt for most
they
of the
literally-
last game.
They
Where's their
literally
weakness?
look like the classic team. You saw it with the Packers in 2011. They go 15-1, get bounced in the first round.
40
But we also
The Panthers
I just
when
want, I
but
just want
we
you to
also-
tell me where
we also
is the
saw
Eagles,
this-
like weakness.
we also
they have
saw
a good
this-
secondary.
yeah.
They have a good D line.
We also saw
I
this
think
type of
I think
team-
everyone's overreacting to how Hurts is playing. I think he's playing very well.
So you think their only weakness is Jalen?
Okay,
Hurts?
so is Hurts on the level of a guy like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert,
Not-
even Tua?
No,
Who
but
says he has to
this year he has.
So
been,
win a Super
100%.
Bowl the last few years, you've had to be on that level.
This year he's 100% been on that level. This year, 100%.
No.
This year he's more of an MVP candidate than Josh Allen
He's-
is at this moment. 100%.
He is.
Leading an 8-1
Hurts-
team. Josh
Hurts
Allen's
has
had
been-
what 4 turnovers.
Hurts has been doing a
in 2
great
weeks.
job of letting his playmakers make plays.
which is all he needs to do. He hasn't been turning the ball over. What? In the MVP, he's probably top 4, right? What
He's
is it?
around there.
It's probably no order. Mahomes,
Let's
Allen.
go.
Okay, so in the playoffs,
Mahomes,
it.
Allen.
for the
Hurts.
Eagles in the playoffs, you would take them. Who would you take them? You take them over
Well,
Tampa? You take
I'm
them
saying,
over Tampa right
so
now?
I'm saying Tampa. So that, like I said, Tampa was the team I was gonna pick. That's why I made that reaction when you picked them. To defer from you, I'm not going Tampa, but I'm still very
No,
much
but just to go
on
through
Tampa.
it, would you take them over Tampa?
I think it's a good game. I don't know if the I don't know if the Bucks have as much firepower as they've had in the past, especially with that O-line and this running game.
I don't think they need the
I think-
firepower.
I think plus they lost Shaq Barrett for the entire year. I think the Eagles are just going to be, depending on how healthy they stay, the Eagles are just going to be, I mean, they've been so healthy it's almost unreal at this point, the Eagles.
So you would
I mean,
take them
no,
over
no.
Tampa?
So
They are missing that big boy Jordan Davis.
Yeah,
And when he comes
well, so
back,
he'll
Well, didn't
come back,
Goddard
like-
just get hurt too?
Goddard got hurt. He'll be out for a couple weeks. AJ Brown was hurt during last game, but he'll be back I think for this week.
I think Jordan Davis is so good. The league is like
He's
not
dude,
playing
he's
right now
he's going to be
on that Eagles.
it's
D-line.
going to be a good addition. Like, that's the thing. I'm just looking at the Bucks. Their key injuries were offensive line, 2-3 guys on the offensive line that are out for the year, and then Shaq Barrett out for the year.
Listen, all
The Eagles have what 2-3 injuries, but they're all coming back.
With the Eagles,
When is Jordan Davis?
you started seeing
Probably
the
within a
cracks.
week or
You
two.
started seeing the cracks with the Eagles a little bit against the Texans because they were down for a lot of that game to the Texans, and then they go out and they get punched in the mouth against Washington. This
But-
might be a midseason
but-
lull, but
no,
I
but
think
the
we're
scores
finally seeing the
the
cracks.
But the score is deceiving because they had the last second
the score, but I
the
could
last
also
second pitch back.
I could
that was a
also
touchdown.
I could also
It was a
flip it.
5-point game.
I could also flip it to saying that the score against the Texans was a fake score, and that the Texans were actually much closer in that game than 29-17, and it's the Texans. Like the Texans stink, and they almost beat the Eagles.
So the Eagles lost.
All
3
I'm
fumbles
saying is-
last game.
The Eagles have not looked good the last 2 weeks, and I haven't believed in them all year, so I'm not going to start believing in them now that they aren't.
I'm
what
still
these-
high on them.
I want to
They're still my
hear
Super Bowl pick.
Jason's
Yeah, what's your
Super
pick?
Bowl picks.
I'm gonna go with a little bit of a unique pick. I think the Chiefs. I think. All right.
Wait, who'd you pick to win your
I-
Super Bowl? Bucks, you said, or did you not give a pick again?
I don't know. I'm in a weird spot because I have like four teams like in like the bubble that I can't pick between. I have like San Fran and the Bucks, and then I have the Titans and Chiefs. I kind of want to say Titans Niners. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. Titans and Niners in the Super Bowl.
Who do you have winning?
Niners.
Niners. I got Chiefs, Eagles. I just love this Eagles team. Like I think they have one of the most complete rosters in the league. They're secondary. They have Darius Slay. They have Bradbury. They picked up Gardner Johnson from the Saints, and he's been disgusting. Just their O-line's good. They have elite receivers. They have good running backs. And if Jalen Hurts continues to play the way he has been, and their team stays healthy, I don't see a reason why the Eagles can't make it to Super Bowl. But I think Patrick Mahomes is going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. This is a statement year for him. He wins the Super Bowl, adds it to his resume.
Losing Tyreek Hill and then winning a Super Bowl after it would
That would be huge.
add
Huge.
That would
a lot
be
to his
huge.
resume. Okay,
You
so
mind if I give my Super Bowl
No,
pick?
go
Aiden,
right ahead, man.
Let's hear
Is
it.
it all right,
Let's go,
Aiden?
Sal.
I don't mean
Go
to
ahead,
Step, I
no.
don't mean to step on toes
no,
here.
go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. I'm going Chiefs Niners rematch.
I like it.
It's my
I
Super
like
Bowl
it.
pick.
Yeah.
I could see it being 2 rematches: Chiefs Niners, Chiefs Bucks. I could see that happening either way. Like that's what I'm saying. Those are the 3 combos that I could.
I'm
that I
kind
could
of.
see. I mean,
I know you guys are all over the Bucks because Tom Brady won his last 2. Got divorced with
It's
Giselle.
not even
He's
about
back.
that.
He's back.
They look
I
different.
just-
they look different. It's
I
not.
don't see it
It's
this year
not
with
the
the Bucks.
wins. It just looks different.
I also think Rashad White's going to be a huge part because they've had the worst running game in the entire league, and he just went over 100 yards. I think there was a first week where they've had a rusher over
If you
100.
can keep Lenny as a pure power down back,
that's
dangerous.
that's a big
That's
big
dangerous.
addition. And Brady's always loved those goal line backs.
So why re-sign Saquon when you could just pick up a Rashad White?
Yep.
I'm fucking around.
Exactly.
I'm fucking around. I just wanted to piss off Ben. I'm kidding.
All right, and then
Wait,
then
look at that tree right there. There's a couple Saquons growing.
Ben, we're just kidding, man.
Lighten up, man.
you got
all right.
come on.
no, I do want
If
so
Saquon Barkley was on the Bucks this year, they'd be like
No.
undefeated right now.
Enough about Saquon.
All right,
He's a
so,
very handsome
so
guy. But let's
talking
move on.
about Saquon and then shifting to the Giants and potentially a reunion, OBJ and the Giants. We want to talk about following this Justin Jefferson catch against the Bills that won them the game. What is the greatest catch of all time? Let's hear. You got something?
So the most skilled catch of all time, which I look at it a little differently, because I know that some people look at it based on the pure skill of the play and the skill of the catch, which rightfully so. Like
I'm gonna have a crazy take on this, by the way.
I already know what you're gonna say.
the most skilled catch I've ever seen is OBJ on Sunday night against the Cowboys, the 3-finger catch. But the best play and catch I've ever seen is David Tyree's helmet catch in terms of like importance in the history of football.
What
Like
about the
legacies
immaculate
being.
reception?
That's a good one too, but I gotta go with the helmet catch. Like, dude, the play's
I'm
insane.
Okay, I'm going. So, and this might be a crazy take. I think when you think greatest catch of all time, you say OBJ's, and I'm still fine with that. I think if we're going off of skill, I think a lot of what OBJ had to do with, the gloves. This nowadays are very sticky. It's a great catch. It's a great, gloves definitely helped. I think pure skill wise, to have the amount of concentration with 2 Falcons in a Super Bowl draped on you for Edelman to catch it within inches,
is why I'm
centimeters
here.
of the ground.
This is why
I
I'm
think
here.
I think that's one of the most skilled
But you
catches.
can't use
Me
the
and Jay-
glove
for the record,
argument.
for the record.
when
No,
Jules is using the same exact glove.
Aiden.
No, but
Aiden, for the
Edelman didn't
for
one
the
hand it.
record.
Edelman went
Hey, just
tip,
let
tip
Sal say
through
this.
two-
For the record,
Bowl. Only reason
me
why
and
we won.
Jason made eye contact right here, and we both mouthed to each other, Edelman, because we knew it. We know you, and we know how you're.
I just think that's the most skilled catch. Now, if you're talking the most legendary catch, I'm going Tyree.
Yes.
The most skilled, I'm going Edelman. If you're saying best catch, I'm still going OBJ. Just because you look at a highlight, you're like, holy shit, how the hell?
I mean,
And
I
then
don't think the
Aiden,
immaculate
honestly,
reception
like
is talked about enough, dude. That was insane.
no, 100% it does.
What?
The immaculate reception bouncing off that.
Yeah, of
helmet,
course.
dude.
But like then again, it bounced off and he was just there and it just fell into his lap.
I mean,
Like,
it's fucking.
it's a
crazy.
it's a great play. Like it's
I think it's
historic.
maybe like most crazy.
It's probably one of the most historic ones.
No, and the fact that it ended a playoff game too, like
Yeah.
it ended off of that catch, like that's pretty insane.
Where do you rank Justin Jefferson's most recent catch? We'll have it up on the screen.
It's probably in the top 5 of any catch I've seen, like while I've been alive, like not including like in the 70s, 80s, 90s, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, it's definitely one of the best catches I've ever seen.
I think it's like I don't want to take anything away from it, but when you watch the replay in slow, like in the close up,
Yo,
he's
what about
he's
Jermaine-
bringing it down and the defenders low key.
Jermaine Kearse's catch
Jermaine
was
Kearse's
all luck,
catch.
all
That
luck.
That was all
that
all
was
luck.
sick
So
catch.
his catch was luck, but Edelman's
was
was
yeah.
pure focus,
Did I say that?
determination,
Did I say
grit,
that?
and
Yeah,
heart.
did I say that? I didn't say that.
Because Curse's,
I think Edelman's catch was
Curse's
extremely
bounced off
lucky.
every extremity
Typical
of his
Pats
body
fan.
and went into him. Edelman literally bobbled it between 2 people, dove and just caught it.
Yeah. Show,
inches into the ground.
really show it, Aiden. Really.
Yeah.
Give me a football. Give me a football.
Here, go right now. Go right now.
Give me a football.
He's got it right there.
Like that's what he did.
No.
That's what we're talking
Julian
about.
Edelman's catch, I love that the Pats won that Super Bowl. That is one of the luckiest catches I've ever seen in my life.
But it's definitely more skill than what Tyree had to do, just sticking into his helmet. It's more skill than what
It's more skilled than having to
Curse.
hold the ball against your head against Rodney Harrison, who was currently taking HGH. That's more skilled. That's more skilled. What are you talking about?
I think we need a replay of this Edelman catch.
Oh my god. All right. While
I
he's
don't think
pulling
you
up
guys.
that,
I don't think you guys are. You guys are like.
We got.
You guys
that-
are,
we
you're looking
got-
at me like I'm ridiculous. This is literally one of the greatest
While
catches
he's-
of all
I'm not
time.
disputing that, but it's not the best catch ever.
Because you know what Aiden
think
was
it's the
doing
most
when that
skilled
catch.
And you can't pull the Curse catch was lucky argument when it was pretty goddamn stiff.
Aiden saw that Edelman catch. He was running around his house.
I almost
he's doing
don't
his
know. I
official.
kid you
He's-
not.
he's doing his
When
3 laps
Malcolm
around the table,
when
he flips
Malcolm
the shirt
when
over.
Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson to win the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, I kid you not, I jumped so high that my head hit the ceiling in my house.
All right, let's
and
relax.
No, and I've done the calculations. That's very high. I don't know how I could touch it. I know my head hit something.
Okay, Zion.
He's got bunnies.
I just got I got the bunnies. Look at this. Look at this catch, dude. Look at this catch. Ready? Tips. All right, tips.
Do you want me to
Three
zoom?
defenders.
Do you want me to zoom in on
Yeah,
the?
give me over here. Give me a close up here. You ready?
Wait.
But you're acting like we're saying this isn't one of the best catches ever.
LeBron James
I'm
actually said
proving-
before
I'm
this
proving
play
to
he
I'm
had a
proving to
feeling
you it's
Edelman
skill.
was going
Look
to
at
make
this.
this
All right,
catch.
ready? Goes tips right there. Now there's 3 defenders. He's on a back foot. Absolutely no body security here. Gains his feet. Somehow takes 2 steps. Dives. 3 defenders all over him. Over the other defender. Look at that. Come on. And somehow catches that ball. And when it's 2 minutes left, about to come back and win the craziest comeback in sports history in a Super Bowl.
Dude,
Like,
if
look
you're gonna
look at
say
this.
that the
Look at
curse catch is lucky,
Look
which
at
I
the-
say
oh
it
my-
is.
Look,
He
look
caught it
at
on the
that.
guy's
Look at
foot,
that.
dude.
Look at that. Look at that.
If you're gonna say the curse catch is lucky,
Come on.
you have to hold the same standard to that one.
I've seen better catches from Jason and flag
You guys
football.
are crazy.
Oh,
all right,
God.
I can't do
Oh
this
my
anymore.
Here we go.
God, this was such a mistake.
All right. Now we need to address the elephant in the room. It is Tags is wearing a Jets jersey, and you're wearing a Patriots hat. You guys gonna go somewhere this week?
Me and Salvatore are gonna be visiting Gillette Stadium on Sunday at 1:00.
What a
for
stadium.
the Patriots and Jets game. I think it's gonna be, in terms of like playoff picture and what losing this game would do to either team. I think this is one of the most important games the NFL is gonna have this season. I think across all the teams. If the Pats win, they're 6-4. The Jets are 6-4. The Pats lose, obviously. The Jets are 7-3, and the Pats are 5-5. So
And as of right now, both teams are actually in the playoffs.
in the playoffs. So if the Pats lose this week to the Jets, I think they have no shot at the playoffs. Because 5-5 in a division where everyone else is what 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, 7-3, or 7-3, 7-3, 6-3. That's just tough to come back from when you're 5-5 through 10 games. So the Pats have to win this game. I think the Pats should win this game. But with that being said, I see it being a very tightly fought, physical game. I think it's going to be one of the more physical games that we've seen all season. Obviously, the Pats won't throw to Sauce. Got to avoid him. So that's taking away literally one half of the field. The Pats got to get Hunter Henry going this week. They got to get him going. And then, throw the slants to Jacoby. And Ramondre and Damian obviously got to have a huge week.
Yeah.
But to me, this very similar to how I'm looking at the Vikings game. The Pats have to force Wilson into those turnovers, which I think the Jets are going to be monitoring a lot because he took a lot of shit last time that the Pats and Jets played with Wilson's turnovers.
Yeah.
You could tell that the coaching staff really ripped into him.
He was a little upset
That
after
week.
that game.
Well,
So-
say what you want about this Pats rush defense. I believe it's the 4th ranked rush defense in the league, and with Michael
really?
Carter, I think so. Yeah, and with Michael, let me double check that. And with Michael Carter,
Yeah, let's definitely double check
with
that.
Michael Carter and James Robinson going, there's definitely that increased possibility where it's the second best rush defense. It's the second best rush defense for fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
thanks. Yeah,
No, that we've allowed 1 rushing touchdown
Don't you
and
have one win in fantasy?
only 2 games. Only 2 games where running backs have had over 100 rushing yards.
They also had
So
a
it is.
quarterback go for like 130 on him. And 2
Um,
quarterbacks. I think Lamar and Fields.
Well, only 1 rushing touchdown. Either way, it's still a top rushing defense. They've only allowed 90 once, 80 once. Everything else has been under 70, and then 2 games over 100.
Just to close it out, Jason, what's your Jets Pats take this weekend? How's it gonna go?
I got the Jets winning, and hear me out. The Jets are 4-0 on the road this year, right? We know the Jets
2 for a
haven't-
loss.
We know the Jets haven't won in Gillette since 2010, but
Oh wow, that's a long time, Ben.
it is
No,
a long,
well-
it's a long time. But
Yeah.
want to know the last time the Jets beat the Steelers on the road before this year?
2010?
2010. Wait, do you want to know the last year the Jets beat the Broncos before this year? Sal, can you say it for me?
2010.
Do you want to know the last time the Jets beat the Packers in Lambeau on the road?
Packers suck. Take the Packers.
What
out.
year was
They
it?
blow.
It wasn't 2010. It was 2006. But things are weird this year. The culture's changing.
The Jets are winning on the road. They're winning in places they haven't won before. They barely lost to the Pats. A bad roughing the passer call where it was
Okay, no, don't give me that because in the moment you said, "Why would you do that?" You didn't say that's a bad call.
No, because
you said, "Why would you?" So don't change the narrative now that you lost the game. I hate when you do this shit. You weren't saying that in the middle of the game when it was looking like you still had a chance to win, but then you lose, so you change your opinion on it.
No,
don't do that.
It was still
don't
a stupid play. It was still a stupid play. He shouldn't have even made a case for him to get roughing the passer.
It was roughing the passer in today's NFL. That is roughing the passer every single time.
It's
You
soft.
can't even debate that.
It's soft.
It's a soft call, but that's how it is.
But as I was saying, James Robinson is now a little bit. He's been with the team a little bit longer. His first game with the Jets was against the Pats. He's been here a little bit longer. I think he's a little bit more warmed up. He knows the system a little bit more. Built a little bit more chemistry. The Jets are a running team. The Patriots don't have the best run defense.
I really don't believe in our rush defense at all.
I don't know about what fantasy numbers you're pulling up, Aiden.
I just no. Those are the fantasy numbers, I guess, from a point perspective. From a rushing yard perspective, it's 19th.
Oh,
I don't know how that doesn't translate into fantasy points. I don't know how we're the second best fantasy defense against running backs.
Because there's other factors that go into it besides rushing in
No,
fantasy defense.
No, it's just it's from I guess
God.
quarterback rush yards.
Benny, what do we have?
they've let up 120 yards a game on the ground.
It's 120 a game. It's 19.
Oh my God!
I don't know how.
Yeah,
fantasy
so
doesn't
what's
have
going to
that,
happen
but-
is we're going to have to go to Foxborough and we're going to have to rush the shit out of the ball because your rush defense is definitely not
sucks.
that good. And
Well,
not
I
top
believe
three.
Christian Barmore is gonna play,
I think,
and
so,
he's been out the last 4
And-
weeks.
Yeah,
so I think that'll make a big
The
difference.
main thing is Zach not
Duggar
turning the ball
should
over.
play.
That is the main thing is Zach not. We had your guys' number until Zach made that horrible interception.
'Cause
to
he
close out
sucks.
the first half. Well, I'm still
Not only
stuck
that,
on that.
Josh
But
Uche
then-
has had like one of the best block sheds or something like that statistics in the entire league out of like any pass rusher. He's been able to beat.
The key to this game for the Pats is to get a lead early, so that the Jets have to throw the ball.
Yeah,
Just keep them from running the ball.
and just keep away football.
The game we literally without that interception and without the roughing the passer call.
Why is
we're,
You were talking.
we're up 17-3 going into half at home. I think we easily win that game. We lost. We barely lost. It's okay. Zach played horrible. I think he'll bounce back, and I think
Monty,
that it's a
not a
weird year.
shot.
The culture's changing. The Jets are winning on the road. They're winning in places they haven't won before, and things are happening that don't usually happen for the Jets. So why not beat the Pats?
It's gonna go either two ways. We're gonna go there. We're gonna get mopped. Zach's
gonna
three to
throw
four
10 interceptions.
and this is a typical Jets game. That's option one. Option two is Zach pretty much does little to nothing.
Yeah.
Run the shit out of the ball, and we keep it tight. Maybe win on a little Greg the leg field goal.
No, I-
And, that's
Braxton
it.
Berrios
The
jet
one-
sweep.
I understand that the Jets are also coming off a bye, but I just think that the Pats coming off a bye with Belichick at home against the Jets in division,
Yeah, these are all
a must-have-it
advantages,
win.
100%.
I just think it's a recipe for success for the Pats.
All right, final picks. Let's hear them for the game.
Jets.
What's the score?
Oh, score? I'll say like 23-17.
I'll go Pats 24-16.
I'm gonna go Pats 2017.
Jets 24-18.
It's an interesting score.
All right. Unless you want to cover anything, or we're all good.
No, I just don't like Jason. It's the last time.
What?
Thanks for having me.
What time- what
The
time
fans
did
the
you
fans will
tell?
call for me back.
It was a displeasure, sir.
We'll see.
We got to get rid of that
Um,
Pats bias.
Wow. All right. So the next time you guys will see us will be
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. We're gonna have some more of these hats, some more of these.
I have a lot of people reaching out on sweatshirts as well, Aid.
We're gonna have some hoodies. Not too many hoodies, but we'll have some hoodies.
Limited.
Limited hoodies.
Mr. Limit.
What we will have a lot of.
Limited.
What we will have a lot of is our T-shirts, which will be coming in. And these things are hot.
Am I gonna
Give
be
me
able
a
to
little-
reveal the
Give me a little
t-shirts?
zoom over here. Give me a little.
That is nice.
Oh, here. I mean, look at this guy. Boom, with the Stay Tipsy on the back. We got the white, the logo, Stay Tipsy on the back. I mean, we're gonna have a hoodie with
Yeah, run it back again.
boom, boom, boom,
Oh.
boom, boom.
You're gonna want
boom.
those.
Oh.
And then we're gonna have that exact logo on a black
Oh,
hoodie.
mama.
We'll have these, and then we'll have.
Minecraft.
Get out of there.
All right, guys. So we'll see you guys when we're back. And make sure to follow us at TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube,
Me
on
and Sal
Twitter.
will be posting content from Foxborough.
I love it. And not only that, we'll have more than likely 5 or 6 clips going up every week, starting when we're back on all socials. So TikTok, follow us there, Instagram.
We'll shout out Jason, the editor.
Jason.
Not
Better Jason.
Not that Jason.
Jason.
Different Jason.
The different and the better Jason.
Jason.
He's a good Jason. He's a good Jason.
Jason.
All right. I think that's
Jason.
Thank you for having me. I know
We'll
the
see you
fans will
guys
call
next
for me
time.
back.
Bye, Jason.
This definitely won't be a one-time thing.
You're never coming back. Put your fucking hand.
it. Bye.
Peace and love.